We all find ourselves trapped in a glass box, surrounded by barriers and obstacles. We can see what we want the outcome to be on the other side, and in most cases, we know exactly what we need to do to get there, but we fear breaking the glass because we fear the mess it's going to make. And I hate to be the one to break it to you, it's messy getting out of the box. Well, welcome to Shatter the Glass Podcast. I'm your host, Steffany Rossi. I'm Steffany Rossi. Welcome to Shatter the Glass Podcast. I have been getting asked the same question over the past 2 months, and I want to talk about it. The question, there's a couple of different variations, but it's along the same lines of, did you take Ozempic? What diet are you following? What's your workout plan? And it's all focused around the end result of the weight loss. But there is so much that went into the weight loss. I wasn't trying to lose weight. That was never my intention when I started my journey of elevating my well-being. The first thing I did was I kind of reevaluated what I was doing and looked at the habits that I had and what habits I wanted to form to better myself. The first thing I did was not eat as much fast food. Did I cut it out completely? No. Do I still eat it? Not often. It doesn't feel good anymore, but I was eating a lot of it. The second was I would eat more salads, and if you know me, I do not like lettuce. So I had to find salads that worked for me, that I liked, that I would eat and enjoy. But if I still wanted a piece of pizza, I would still have a piece of pizza. I would just eat my salad first. And then just making healthier, conscious choices. In a lot of our industries for work, we do a lot of networking. We do a lot of lunches, and it's just being conscious of what you're eating when you're there. And for me, I used to always do, it's because I'm out, so I can have whatever I want. And, actually being conscious and choosing something healthier than the alternative every time. And I never stuck to a specific diet, and I never cut out anything. I still eat bread, I still eat pasta, I still eat desserts. I love desserts. I did cut out alcohol this January, and we'll talk about that in a later episode. But once I did that, I did crave sugar a lot. And I don't eat sugar every day, but I get crumble at least once a week, sometimes twice, depending on their flavors. And it's something that I enjoy, and that is a treat for me. And I never wanted to take anything away from what I enjoy, because desserts bring me happiness, and I'm going to enjoy them. The next, I looked at my daily inputs. And one of the two things that changed my mindset and my mood was cutting out negative people, things, anything that didn't make me in a positive light, I cut out. As you go through this, and at least for me, in my experience, people will fall off. People won't support you in the way that they used to, and that was hard at first. And then social media, I have a love-hate relationship with it because I know it needs to exist, and it keeps us connected with all kinds of different people that we wouldn't have been in contact with without it. But I learned last year that you can mute people on Facebook and Instagram, and you don't delete them as a friend, you just mute their posts so you don't see them anymore. And it's people that I'm still friends with sometimes that I just don't like what they post all the time, so I just mute them and I don't see them. Now, if I want to go to you can still go to their page, you can still go do all the things, but it's not going to be in your direct feed. So you are controlling what you're looking at all the time, because it's so easy to compare yourself to others and their journey and where they're at, and it's just not a good place to be in. And that was one of the main things that I think shifted the entire mindset journey that I had to go on next in all of this. And during this time, I hired a coach, and he quite literally changed my life. And I worked through a lot of, the negative thoughts and reprogramming that. And we can do a lot with our minds, and our minds are very, very powerful. But there was a few limiting beliefs that I still had that I couldn't get out of, no matter how hard I tried. And I know they're not true, and I can tell myself that all day, and I was, but I still was in this fight or flight state of my body and my brain, and I couldn't. It was hard. So I talked to him about it, and this is where I learned that we keep emotions in our nervous system, and that I can't think something out of my nervous system, unfortunately. And we talked about a couple different options, and I went the route of neurofeedback therapy. And I have never heard of it before until I did it. And it was one of the best decisions I ever did. And I'm going to explain it in the terms I understand it, and just know that like I'm not a doctor and these are not legitimate terms, but this is how I explain it to people because it's a lot sometimes. But essentially I call it brain zapping because it is a little thing that goes on your head and it zaps your brain, but it is having the different lobes in your brain find new neural pathways. So I was still doing it on my own my brain was doing it, but I didn't want to go the medication route if I didn't have to. And I did neurofeedback for 15 weeks here in Nashville, and it was absolutely incredible. But as you go through that, there was a lot of times that you get these experiences that come back up, and a lot of stuff that I unintentionally blacked out, I guess, and you have to relive them and go through those. And it's something that I wasn't expecting to experience, I guess, and it was one of the hardest things to go through because a lot of it is, past stuff that you thought you dealt with, but you just buried it and you blacked it out. And having someone that was there to talk through all of that, not only the therapist who was doing the neurofeedback with me, but also the coach that I had at the time. And it was working through all of that. I mean, I held on to all the emotional and stress weight on that. Since it was never my intention to lose weight, I didn't actually notice the weight loss until about 7 months into the journey of the small habit changes and healing my mind. So I do work out now, but I didn't start that until after I lost all of the weight. And it's more of a discipline and state of being than anything. It is not to lose more weight at all. It is actually to gain, but that's a whole other conversation. I think it's so important that I want to touch on it again, that I had to heal from the inside out. And it was not my focus of the weight. Did I want to lose weight? Absolutely. Was that my intention? No. I wanted to change my lifestyle for the better, and I knew that would follow. I didn't know what that was going to look like. I didn't know how much I had no idea. But I knew I needed to live a better lifestyle for me, for my family, for everyone around me, because I was not in a good place. And, there were so many days that were hard, feeling alone and reliving all those experiences. And I just want to reiterate, healing from the inside out is what the focus needs to be on, because if our mind isn't right, nothing else matters. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am so happy you're here for this episode. Please be sure to check us out on our YouTube channel and all other social media platforms. We'll see you next time on Shatter the Glass Podcast.